Hello and welcome. This is the Fooly Cooley 2 Premiere Countdown Pillows Discography Podcast. It is a word salad that will keep getting bigger, probably. So, this is the second episode. Yesterday we talked about Moon Gold. Today we're talking about White Incarnation, the second Pillows album.
It's a thing with colors, you know? Like, start with gold, now we're in white.
Now we're in white.
Yep. Doesn't really make sense, though, for the third one. That's just a spice.
Yeah.
Cool. So.
Yeah. It's 2 points to draw a line, you know? Mm-hmm. So
it's almost there. There was something going on.
Yeah.
But what's actually going on is better music.
What's
actually going on is...
Insert gunshot noise.
Yeah. Insert gunshot... Well, we're going to get into some gunshot noise inserts very soon.
Hey, that's segue.
Very soon.
Segue to something we'll do later. More like foreshadowing, am I right? Podcast foreshadowing.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, there are so many more things to talk about in this album. Mm-hmm. And it's so much better. Even the first song, like, hits you, and you're like, oh, where am I exactly? Because this is not where we were before. Colorful Pumpkin Fields is just like, I mean, we are going to get into a theme of this album, too, of just, there is a nameless male character who is just with a girl, and he just wants reality to stop. It seems to be what this album's all about, which is cool, but this song has a duck sound at the end.
Yeah. I want to just read my notes for Colorful Pumpkin Field.
Please
go for it.
So much better. Better master, better vocals, no random reverb, interesting instrumentation, fun vibe, some harmonies, 3 exclamation points. That's overall my opinion of this song, because I listened to White Incarnation right after I finished Moon Gold. Yeah. And so this was like a breath of fresh air to come into a whole nother album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, you can tell off the first track, just like the clear difference between this and Moon Gold. You're just like, all right, they figured some things out. They went back to the lab. And, things just seem a hell of a lot better. I do want to bring it up real quickly because of just title tracks. I think it's track 2 of She's My Sister.
Yes.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop. It's just the title alone. It's just... Clearly there's a bigger picture being,
So is this sister fuck or metaphor?
I think that's metaphor. I don't think it's about... Okay. We're going to go right in.
Yeah, we're going to go right in.
All right. For all you...
Also a verbatim note. Sister fuck or metaphor in parentheses.
All right. Oremo fans, gather around. We're going to talk about whether or not this is an incest song. I personally do not think so. I think this is a fan translation that, while well-intentioned, kind of got some lyrics skewed. I think it's more about the fact that this guy's little sister just means enough to him, to his past and everything, that he knows that, one day they're just going to have to, grow up and not just, like, have fun and, like, be growing up in the same house anymore. Like, that type of thing. Only because it's so... It sounds so heartfelt. It doesn't sound like there's any kind of anything
tension?
Else. Any kind of tension. Yeah. Yeah. Of any sort. I don't know. In my opinion.
Overall,
that's how I hear it.
From what the music is saying, I would say 100%.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see like a couple of side-by-side translations to make sure that like where it is where the person kind of took it. Because I wonder if
because you can't tell what the actual like tone of the title "She's My Sister" because it could be a million things like "She's my sister" or "She's my sister" or yeah,
she's my sister.
She's my sister.
Overall, musically though, I really like it. It's got that kind of dreamy thing going on, except on a better album, it comes out better.
Yes.
It doesn't become like completely boring when you go. There's a part near the end where the bass like comes out of the woodwork in this one, and it just made me wish that they would turn up the bass more.
Right.
Because it was a really solid part, and it seemed like it was there for most of the song. It just only was given a spotlight for a very small amount of time. But I'm a sucker for low end, so.
Right. Yeah, I think more people are, especially I would probably be in the same boat now. Like, I wasn't as much when really getting into music because I would just, everything was so new and I was just trying to absorb the song itself. But like when you focus in on actual tracks in a song, you really want to hear everything. And so like, yeah, a lot of times the bass is just kind of obscured and you're just like, why can't we just hear some more bass? So yeah, no, it was. I think you said a breath of fresh air.
Oh, that was I had said that about the first song. This one, I just wanted the bass to come out more.
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool for what the song was going for too. Just like more of a, because I guess in the way I'm thinking of it is you kind of want that low end a little bit more when you're taking on a more kind of like an older person role in a song, in my opinion at least, just because it has those connotations. What about Paper Moon?
I like this one okay. It's another one where the reverb is on purpose, and that is a good thing because it's not there when it shouldn't be anymore, which means I can fully appreciate it, as opposed to on Moon Gold, where it was like, oh, there's reverb on his voice. Well, that's the same as the rest of them. The drum roll in this got me way too hyped for like a major song change, and then nothing happened. And I got some harsh disappointment as a result of that. I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And more of the song.
Peters out. Yeah.
There is a lot of repetition, I think, in this album. I think that's one thing that kind of hurts it for me, where kind of each song, it will take its time with every part of it, and then it will double back on what it already did.
Right.
Like, almost without fail. And it's all right. It's definitely all right, but that's kind of where this album kind of blends back into Moon Gold for me, where each song is different, but at the same time, you could almost put these in between each song of Moon Gold, and like I kind of get that same feel. I thought that was one of my main problems with the album, just because the songs end up getting so slow, and they have normal lengths. They really just drag out every second.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to bring up, more or less they are at normal lengths, but at the same time, you're still, like, asking yourself when you see, like, the time stamp for a song, and you're just like, does this really need to be, like, 3 minutes and 40 seconds? Like, you get really into that, like, workshop headspace where, like, everyone's saying, like, does it really need to be, like, 12 pages? Like, the story... Yeah. No, the biggest thing is that someone says, like, yeah, so you see on page 3, like, paragraph 4 or 5, that's when the story starts. And I'm like, oh, does it? I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of dragging, because I thought that track 3 was okay. It was Wall of Sound, which made it a little weird to, like, listen to because it's hard. It's harder to pick out the individual things, like, on purpose, because it gets this whole, like, washed out, like, dreamy feel to it. And trying to protect that nostalgic space and trying to make it so the world stops. Track 4 was over 6 minutes long. And it really did not need to be. It didn't need to be 3 minutes long. That's what I've got to say about that.
My judgment of when you see a 5 or 6 or 7 minute long song, you're expecting some very complex composition going on, music wise, in this. There's no right for a rock pop song to be more than 3 minutes.
Like, if you're not doing anything different, why is it still going on?
Yeah, it was way too long. I remember tabbing back over to Windows Media Player and just watching the seconds go by, because it was an alright song, but like exactly what I was saying before, it really takes a long time to like drag it out.
Yeah.
So okay, I thought a really cool song was track 5. I Want to Be Sullivan. That song, like, that's probably, I mean, I'm going to say it right now. That's probably the best song on the album, in my opinion. It's a complete out of left field for anything else.
The fact that the intro is a guy, like, I don't know who, I don't know what they sampled, but a guy
I know what it is.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I do. We're going to get into it because it's actually what the whole song is about.
All right, I'm
so
very
how does it
interested.
start, though? He said
it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. And then just shotguns and pistols start going off, and he's like just basically pretending to get shot, I guess.
Right. So this song, okay, we're gonna really get into this, folks. This is the best song ever. So this song is about someone watching the 1930s movie. Oh, what's it called? Hang on. Oh yes, Angels with Dirty Faces. It is a.
Is that the movie they used in Home Alone?
I don't know.
Okay. I think that was a made up movie for Home Alone.
Oh.
I can't remember, but
it's inspired by.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. It's a 1930s gangster movie about a guy who gets out of jail for trying to rob some train carrying like really nice fountain pens or something else that fits in that decade. And what happens is he ends up, so he gets out, he tries to get like a quote unquote like new lease on life, that type of thing. Like his priest friend says like, come back, like there's a place for you that you can stay or whatever. So he ends up staying, and at one point I guess he's doing some shady shit, and he ends up getting pickpocketed by all these kids, and he ends up like, he gets his wallet back, or like maybe they don't end up pickpocketing him fully, but they end up meeting him and starting to idolize him, even though he's still kind of like not on the right path. So by the end of the movie, he's done all this crazy shit. The people who are after him from everything that he did before, have been trying to kill him, and he's killed people back. It's a gangster like action movie. So by the end, though, he's finally caught. Like he's done. Like he's going to the electric chair. And as he's on his way like to the electric chair, his priest friend is like, "Listen, you need to you're gonna die. There's no way around that. You need to just beg for mercy. You need to act like a complete coward right now so that these kids that idolize you will not have this respect for you anymore, so that they don't end up where you are right now." And he's like, fuck off, like, whatever. So the priest is on his way. So a little bit later, by the end, like, by the time he's, like, almost there, he's actually begging for mercy. He's like, I didn't do it. Like, all this kind of crazy shit. And that's kind of where they're sampling it from. And the motive of that is not spelled out to the viewer. So it could be that he was actually scared, or that he did decide to put that facade on. Mm-hmm. So what this entire song is about is...
in the perspective of the kids that looked up to him?
No, it's in the perspective of the songwriter having watched the movie and knowing that the gangster put the facade on for the kids. So he saw through it at the same age as all these kids were. So now he's like, no, I still want to be Sullivan because he is a criminal through and through. He totally is. Look, see, I get the movie. That's badass.
That's
bad
great.
influences.
Oh my god.
Right, and it's awesome. And that's why the whole last part of the song is like I want to be Sullivan. Nobody knows the truth but me and the priest. Nobody knows the truth but me and the priest.
Oh my god, that's so great.
Yes,
that is
awesome.
Really good.
It is awesome.
Despite also being just a really good composition of music.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It was fresh. It was like, all right, this is something I would expect the Pillows to do.
Got a little bit of that lo-fi filter on your vocals there.
Yep.
Had more going on.
A lot more going on. Yeah.
And the whole I don't even know exactly how it went, but the ooh, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool because it built up the momentous I thought this whatever this moment is for whoever it is a big moment in their life. This is something that it's ooh, something's brewing. You know what I mean? A realization is being made here. Something is ooh. No, but really.
Exactly. No, I totally get it.
It was a really good track. There's the album could have been a single. It may have been a single.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah. The full thing with the movie and everything that really cracks open that song for me. But I also really like the next one. Hey, I Don't Care, because it was what it says on the tin. It was just a very groovy. The background guitar's just kind of walking all over the place.
Mhm.
Nobody gives a shit.
It's just like,
It's
how
like
could you care less?
right. Bad stuff is happening. Because the lyrics do a
Yeah.
little bit of like bad stuff is happening, but I'm not gonna let it worry me, and that's kind of like the same thing. The little riff, little like climbing riff into the guitar solo,
Yeah.
and the solo itself really liked. So that's what I have on that one.
I did not like Blue March, which is the song right after.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, I
It's a
think I
Moon
remember.
Gold song. Let's be real. It is like a ladder rung.
I remember kind of because that's what like really infuriates me when like you have a song like Sullivan, and then a couple tracks later you like regress, and I'm just like, what happened?
It wasn't good. It was really.
Yeah, that gets under
It
my
was
skin.
it was repetitive, and it definitely repeated everything too many times.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the whole how this still fits into Moon Gold type of stuff happens.
Right.
I think there was another one though that was good. No, I also didn't like. Oh yeah, I really did not like Yoake. What? Oh gosh, Yoake ga Yatekita.
Is that the 8?
No, I believe so. Let me check. Yes, track 8. I also did not like that much. It felt really. It didn't feel momentous, even though the actual lyrics I thought were like it was. It felt to me
Titled
like
Dawn
really,
Has Come.
Yeah, it was like this. It was like he sees this amazing sunrise, and like he's doing his thing. Like he has to just do his thing. It's nighttime, but he's driving all night, and now he's just like, I have to like stop and just sink this in. This is like it felt to me like it was some kind of like religious experience of some kind. It felt like the album cover. He stops and he looks up at this like orange like sunrise, and he's seeing clouds and stuff. Like to me, that was what White Incarnation was supposed to be, but it wasn't like this big momentous like thing that the lyrics were saying it was.
Mm.
Yeah, I can overall agree. That one kind of like just washed over me.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like reading the lyrics at the same time, and I'm just like, this song, like this is where everything should come together. Like this should be a Sullivan type of song, or something similar to that, where it builds on the same move. But what about Tonight?
I really liked Tonight.
Yeah, I thought Tonight was definitely solid. Again, like it was showing the listener that we're really finding our own voice and identity.
Another one where, speaking of voice, the vocal performance is again much more comfortable, much more able to do its own thing, much more emotive than it is on some. I'm a sucker for a whistle.
Yeah, not gonna lie, not a fan. Not of the whistle. The whistle I didn't mind too much. I think just on the listen, I listened to it a couple of times, and it didn't strike me as anything like amazing. Like I wouldn't go back to it. I can definitely see what you mean about it being like a growth point, because it's definitely really different. It's definitely something that they're doing well. Just didn't resonate as much with me. Probably because I was just coming off that Sullivan high. Let's be real.
So, I don't know if I want to break form, but I already gave it away here.
What?
This one's my favorite.
Oh, you know what? How long has it been? We should probably do.
Yeah. I was about to signal about trying to do.
You know what? We did bottom first last time. Let's do top this time.
I already gave that. So Tonight is my favorite. Tonight, it is so smooth and it is so fun to listen to, and it is a good time. I want to make a note that the last song on this album, Good Night, is a poor man's Tonight. Because Tonight Good Night is trying to do everything that Tonight does, and it does it worse. Still a pretty good song in my opinion, but not that. Originally, I also really liked, I had a couple of ones in here that were my maybes for the second. I kind of liked Our Haley's Comet, etc., but the knowing the meaning of the lyrics of Sullivan steadily puts it at my number 2.
Right.
It pushes it the extra bit.
Yeah.
For me.
Totally. Okay. Shem?
Sullivan. And Sullivan.
Sullivan and Sullivan,
Yeah.
folks. You heard it here.
I'm a sucker for a nice sampled thing for an intro, just to really jar the listener, and then just to go hard hitting. It's a 1-2 punch,
It really is.
and that's what I think of the Pillows. Even though it's ironic at that point, because your whole revelation is saying Pillows is supposed to be soft and dreamy,
yeah, exactly.
but more just it's a giant pillow fight and just hits you across the face.
Yeah. So I actually thought, obviously, I Want to Be Sullivan, best album on the track. Second best album on the track, though, in my opinion.
Best album on the track.
What?
You said best album on the track.
Best album on the track.
Best album on the train that the guy robbed.
Yeah.
He took all those 1930 CDs.
Or found
obviously.
pens.
Found pens.
Oh my goodness, true. Okay, well, in actuality, I actually thought I Want to Be Sullivan was the best track on the album. But also the second best track, I thought was Our Haley's Comet. I thought Our Haley's Comet was really cool. Out of these two albums, even out of the next album we're going to do, just going to be spoilers, it's definitely the best, like, love song, ballad-esque song, type of thing going on. It just has a really good kind of lyrical thing, like, because if you go back to, for this song, I looked up, like, how old the members of the band are.
Yeah.
And they're kind of around, like, like, in 86, when Haley's Comet came around, they were, like, early 20s, maybe, like, 19, somewhere around our age. And I just thought that was a really cool thing. Like, imagine if there was something, like, one in every 100 years that we could see with someone special like that.
I mean, it's a clever title.
Right. It's a really clever title, and the conceit of the song is really what sold me. Like, the entire thing, the mood, really good. What was not good was Dawn Has Come, or Sunrise. That was bad. That was
It's a very ambitious title.
Yeah, really ambitious. I thought it was probably the song that fit most with the aesthetic of the album, but it did not hit as hard as any other song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because in my opinion, I Want to Be Sullivan is like not like the rest of the album at all. So that's why. But yeah,
it was like a later Pillows song, went back in time and kind of just inserted itself.
It did though, and that's what's weird. And yeah, I didn't love Tonight. Tonight's honestly in my bottom 2. We might have to fight about it later. I might have to re-listen, but probably not. I don't know at this point. There's a lot more music to cover. Bottom two.
Yeah, I would probably say Blue March.
Oh, right.
Because of the regression.
Oh, I would probably put Blue March instead of Tonight. I'm being a little harsh. Because Blue March was really bad.
And it wasn't too crazy right here like this.
Oh, right. I almost forgot about that track.
Yeah.
Speaking of right here like this,
yeah,
that's my least favorite one. My notes are 4 Z's, boring with 3 O's, slow and plodding. The solo is expressive when I don't hear it elsewhere. Lyrics don't seem too great for this type of song. Oh my god, it's like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's
This is boring.
That is the song we were talking about. The track names are worth killing me
Right.
for this one. Yeah, it was too much.
It was too much, and what was there wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't even like it was a thing where I was like, okay, I can get this, and then got bored. It was like, oh my god, this is boring. When is it over? And then 6 minutes passed.
A 2,000-word essay on what I did for summer vacation. I went to the lake.
Yeah, pretty much that.
What not to do at a stoplight.
And then my second one is just like musically, She's My Sister did not vibe with me at all.
Oh, really?
Really didn't like it much. That's pretty much it. And it's not even. It's like I didn't actually believe any of the I didn't actually believe in any weird connotations.
True.
About the
no,
song.
it's
like
just,
that.
you know,
It just did not interest me musically, and the
I
lyrics were just kind of.
I think I didn't even look at the title till like halfway through the song. When I saw it, I was like, "Huh?"
Well, we did best worst, so
I think that's about it for White Incarnation. We'll see you tomorrow for Cool Spice.
With a K.
With a K. Cool with a K.
very cool, very
Very much spice.
But-
memes.
old memes.
But is it cold? Is it creamy?
Oh my gosh! Listen, we're gonna save that for the Haunting Hour podcast, which may or may not.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But okay, so is there anything either of you, George or Shem, would like to plug at all?
Well, I'm a fiction writer, and I have a self-published book called Strange Stories of the Inhuman Condition. If it's a crappy photo with red text over it, you know you found the right thing. It's a bunch of short stories about non-human protagonists, and it's really cool. You should all check it out.
I think it's really cool. I think it's really, really cool.
If you want to read stories with not
definitely
normal
do that.
names for protagonists, read this collection.
Also, Nico here was the editor on it, so.
Right, that is true. You won't see Exotic Maneuver tagged on there, but you'll see my actual name.
I guess the only thing I have to plug, depending on when this gets released, I should have my band's latest album, This Ain't It, and we should also be on Spotify by that time, hopefully.
That's awesome.
So,
What's your band's name?
Yeah.
band's name is Watermelon Renaissance. You can find our music at our Bandcamp, watermelonrenaissance.bandcamp, and hopefully on Spotify.
And what is your new album called? This Ain't It?
This Ain't It. I've already had people jam me. It's like, aren't you just ripping off the Strokes if this is it? And just like, listen, it sounds fun. Like, I like the way it sounds.
Listen, the Strokes can eat me because I had no clue what that was, so I'm fine with whatever your album is called.
Yeah. So been working on it all summer, and just really excited just to get it out there.
All right.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
See you next time.
To end everything out, we're actually going to play a clip from This Ain't It by Watermelon Renaissance right now.